Hey guys, Jack here. Thanks for watching Gallivanting, and welcome to this sort of bonus episode of the Wayfarer Expedition. I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and it occurs to me that most of my videos have been documentary style or historical or religious in nature, which is the point, but haven't got a real look into me and how I'm feeling on this journey through Turkey, unlike kind of what you got in Spain, where it was kind of all the time just how I'm feeling, or this is an experience that I had. So I thought I would do a sort of video on that, not a full reflection, I'll do that later, but just how am I doing at this point in the Wayfarer Expedition Turkey leg. So to start, I am having a great time learning about Islam. That's why I'm here. I've read one book that kind of gave me a good foundation for it. It's called No God But God. It talks about the basics of the faith, the history, the sects of the religion. Learned quite a bit, quite a lot. Finishing that book, finished that not long ago. Now I'm actually reading the Quran, and I've found the version that Omar gave me in Diyarbakir for my Kindle, so I don't have to carry the Quran around or risk insulting someone by reading it at a coffee shop or something like that, or for not handling it a certain way. So that's been really enjoyable. Again, I'm not converting, I'm learning, but as I learn, I can't help but look at it from a Christian perspective, and I am finding a lot of issues theologically and historically with it, but it's still a great time to be just reading and learning about a religion other than my own, if for no other reason than to bolster my ability to have discussions, arguments, debates on the differences in the religions and their impacts on society, which is why I'm here. It's to learn about these things and build my personal knowledge and everything. Second, I'm exhausted. I am absolutely wiped. And I said after my last trip through Turkey, which I have documented in videos, but I have not put on the channel yet. They'll be coming up eventually after this Turkey series is over, so I don't want any confusion. I said that I would not fly through Turkey next time because it's such a big country, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Spending travel day, 2 days travel day. I only spent 1 day in some places, like in Şanlıurfa and Elazig. Traveled in, spent a day, traveled out. And it is exhausting because the bus rides are not 30 minutes, they're 2, 3, 4, 8 hours at a time. Starting to look ahead from where I'm at now, I think the most of them about 3 hours, which isn't too bad, but you know, it's the pack up, get public transport or a taxi, get to the bus station, take the bus, figure out in the new place how to use new public transport, because it's not intuitive here in Turkey. You know, you don't find it on a lot of apps outside of Istanbul, and I think Kayseri was the only other place that I found apps that were worthwhile in getting places. So it's been exhausting, and I am just wiped, totally wiped. You're probably noticing videos are getting shorter. That's for two reasons. One, I'm exhausted, and two, I've gotten to the point now where European and Westernism's taken over, and a lot of the history and the religious part of it is fading away to modernism, which is fine, but it's affecting the historical and Islamic view of things. But yeah, I'm just tired more than anything. And you know, looking at the places that I'm staying, like the Airbnb I'm staying at tonight, which is 913 Turkish lira, which is what, 91.46, somewhere in the 25, 26 dollar range, I guess, maybe less than that. It's in a nice part of town, but it's far from the historical aspect. So it's it's a solid 40-minute walk to get where I was today, and then tomorrow it'd be a lot longer to get where I'm going. And I can't just easily use the trams or the buses because the public transport doesn't show up on the maps, and the website doesn't have a map. It just, well, what line do you want? I don't know what line I want. So that has just been contributing to how wiped and tired I am. And on top of that, just learning a lot. Like, it's a new environment, it's new history that I'm learning, and it takes a toll on the mind. Third, probably because I'm tired and exhausted, not just tired, exhausted. And also in a part of the world where I worked professionally for so long, not physically here, but on issues related to here. I've been dealing with some issues from my PTSD, which I talked about in my first book, The Great Gallivanting, A Journey of Realization and Discovery Across the World. That the PTSD aspect was one of the reasons I left. You know, I needed to separate what I was going on in life, what was going on professionally, so that I could deal with those issues. And I've done a lot of work dealing with them, but I've been having some, I don't want to call them nightmares, but I call them trauma dreams, right? They're not scary or anything like that, but they are dreams related to the subject matter that I have trouble dealing with. So and that's been hard to deal with. You know, it takes a while in the morning to, you know, kind of recover from those. It takes a solid hour or two of getting out and about to get my headspace back right. On top of that, when I run into the smell of what I call Middle Eastern cleaning supplies, which there's nothing special about them, it's just the way that they smell. And I walk into a bathroom or into a shop that smells like that, I am instantly back in Baghdad. Now, my experience in Baghdad was not one of constant gunfire, but, okay, whoever that is, it was not one of constant gunfire, actually very little, but it still just transports me back there. Part of the memories that I miss, and just some of the crap that we dealt with there. This guy over here is getting really annoying because he's sliding the chairs rather than picking them up and moving them. That's why I keep looking over there and I pause and everything. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully this doesn't waste battery. But yeah, so I found myself transported back to Baghdad several times a city. And one of my old soldiers, not one that I deployed with, but one that I just worked with, he texted me. He said, "Oh yeah, smell, that PTSD, we all forget we have until we're reminded." And that's true. Fourth, I'm lonely. I talked to my mom about this the other day, so it won't be a surprise to her. Of course, she'll be reminded of it whenever this airs. I am far off the tourism track and the traveler track. I mean, far off. I'm getting closer to it, but I mean, the last hostel I was in Mardin, and that was at the beginning of this trek. That's been almost a month ago. And even then, there weren't many people there. Mardin's not on the travel trek. And ever since then, it's been hotels, Airbnbs on occasion. But even then, this is the only Airbnb that I'm staying in with somebody. The rest of them have been Airbnbs to book hotels. It's just been me, which has been great to be able to keep up with videos and to relax. You know, I've watched some movies, which I didn't do hardly at all in the Great Gallivanting or the Aficionado Tour, to relax and catch up and things. It also means more doom scrolling. But it's been real lonely, and I'm seeing and exploring these things, wiping myself out. See, I can barely talk, I'm so tired. Wiping myself out and being alone while doing it, and that's weighing on me. And that's just part of it, you know. I'm looking ahead to Iraq, I won't be alone. I'm looking ahead to Morocco, I won't be alone. Looking ahead to Madrid, yeah, I'll be alone, but I'll be in Spain. And then after that, I'll be on South America, where I probably won't be alone, but we'll see. I know I won't be for certain parts of it. And I'm going back to Texas for a while, and for 6-8 weeks, and then I'm jumping back into Spain for something for me. And see, like, I don't have a whole lot of alone coming up, but the last month of just being on my own has been, it's taken its toll in ways that even just being home and working and living alone doesn't, because at least I have work to go see people. And it's good because I talk to my parents a lot more than normal. My dad really enjoys it. My mom, I think, enjoys it, and even though we don't talk about much. But the loneliness has been getting to me to the point where I've kind of been trying to find a few more creature comforts to alleviate it. For example, I'm at a Caribou Coffee right now. Now it's the afternoon, almost at evening, because the sun's already started setting and it's only 3:45. That's a hot chocolate though, because I can't eat or drink coffee this day without staying up. So I started seeking out some creature comforts, like this place. I had Starbucks a couple times in Kayseri, and I think it was Kayseri, and finding a place where I can just sit down and have tea, or just kind of out and about away from the hotel, just to have some semblance of being out and about around people. Also, kind of like Spain, it's not a morning place. Turkey, definitely not a morning place. So I'm out and about 8, 9 in the morning. There's hardly anyone moving. Even in this city, I'm kind of staying in the university area, so there's some students that are moving, but not many. So yeah, loneliness is real. And to be honest with you, number 5, I guess this is, right? As I'm trying to keep track of all the people going in and out and slamming the door. I've been on the road now for pretty much continuously for the last almost 2.5 years. Coming up, by the time this airs, it'll long be past 2.5 years. It'll be 3.5 when this expedition is over. And something I never thought I would say in my life is I'm ready to be in one spot for a while. Constant movement is hard on the body, it's hard on the mind. It's beautiful in a lot of ways, this travel life, but there's a reason that YouTubers, thinking of the Vagga Brothers, thinking of Backpacking Bananas, Hey Nadine, which those are some older names, even Keith and Dev, some current names, they go home for a little while and they have videos going while they're at home, because they schedule them out. There's a reason they go home for a while, because it's exhausting and tiring and it wears on you being on the road all the time. And I texted a lieutenant colonel I used to work for not long ago, he just texted me out of the blue, "How are you doing?" We talk all the time, but never that. And I said, "Sir, I can feel over 2 years of being on the road getting to me." So I'm kind of ready to settle down after this expedition. So I'm looking ahead to what that looks like. I'm getting excited for that. I really am getting excited for what comes next. Whatever that is, I've got a couple options I'm looking at. Even if it's not full-time travel or most-time travel. But yeah, I'm ready to be in one spot. It's not Turkey that I want to be in one spot for. It's definitely not Iraq or Morocco that I want to be in one spot for a long time. Well, that's some people do something like that, and I'm all for those people. But it's somewhere where I got people around, and community, and everything. So probably looking at that being Texas. But that's still, a year plus away from when I'm recording this, or right at a year away from when I'm recording this. But I do got a break coming up in the summer. So now, all that said, that's a lot of negative, moping around sounding stuff. Sorry, Mom. I know that probably concerns you, but like I said, I am having a good time. I've enjoyed my time in Turkey. I love Turkey. I tell people my top experiences on the Great Gallivanting were easily Spain, Ireland, and Turkey. The food's great. The history is rich and deep. There's interesting religious aspects unique to Turkey compared to the rest of the Middle East. So I am really enjoying it. It's just I'm so exhausted at this point. Like, I'm noticing there's bags under my eyes in the morning, that I'm ready to settle down. But like I said, I'm two-thirds of the way through. So I got another couple weeks to go. I think 2 weeks, maybe right at 2 weeks to go before I'm in Istanbul for about 2 weeks before moving on to the next stretch. So I'll have a couple weeks to settle down, sleep in, take naps, do whatever. Right. I'm still working on my second book. Of course, it may be done by the time this airs, but I'm looking forward to sitting down in Istanbul. I sent it out in my weekly dispatch last week, I think, that I've already got the coffee shop in mind. I'm gonna go sit down and write, because 1, I need to, and 2, I just love the consistency and the ease, and it's desperately needed to do that. So anyway, that's this sort of bonus episode of the Wayfarer Expedition here in Turkey. Again, only doing this because on the Spain leg, you got kind of regular updates on how I was feeling, what I was thinking. Issues with my knee. My knee hurts too, by the way, while I'm here. That's about the past several days my knee's been hurting. So that's the kind of update from the personal side of things, and I hope you enjoyed it. At the very least, it was good for me to do the video, and with that, don't forget, even if you didn't enjoy this video and the door slamming behind me, please like it anyway because it helps the algorithm, like the other videos. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. It's the only single thing coming to you from the adventure across the world. And with that, see you guys on the road.